tercer lugar, $100,000.
Minutes.
Wow. What's good for mid one here? Like actually for the game, like they could pick Invoker that crushes Leshrac in the lane, but it's not good for the game.
Nice, really bad
You can also take the Monkey King.
Take Monkey King.
Monkey against Lesh is not too good, I think. Quite tough to lane.
We've seen him play inside.
I was going to say, he's not calling
like actually for the game, like they could pick Invoker that crushes Leshrac in the lane, but it's not good for the game.
Nice, really bad
You can also take the Monkey King.
So the
Monkey
against Lesh is not too good, I think. Even then, quite tough to lane.
We've seen him play inside.
I was going to say, he's not calling
actually for the game, like they could pick Invoker that crushes Leshrac in the lane, but it's not good for the game. Die really quickly and the hero, but if you have the boat effect and you have these two heroes that just can't die.
Oh, I like that a lot. It's good. I mean, the only hero is kind of bad against this Phoenix, but...
Whoa, what are we talking about? I don't know.
What? Sorry guys, what draft were you watching?
What?
I mean, it's a typical Lycan counter, right? It used to like always be picked against Lycan in almost every game, just to lane against him.
Yeah, that's what they're doing.
Zai Bristleback.
Oh, so it's Weaver mid?
Yep. So Yaps on our Spirit, Zai Bristleback.
No, I think it's a Silent Weaver.
Oh, I don't know, but like, I don't know if...
Where does the Ogre go then?
Silent Weaver and Arc1 mid, I think. Would make the most sense. Because you pressure the Leshrac.
Yeah.
So Weaver is mid one?
Yeah, but he's gonna play a carry, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, Nisha plays middle morphing as well, so
yeah, he does. He knows the matchup.
Yeah, he was a middle player too.
So they're definitely used to this.
Alright, this is high.
Well, Twitter reckons it's a 73% favoriting of Team Secret.
I mean, I'm gonna go for the Secret too. I actually think this Leshrac is just gonna feed middle against his Arc1 plus Earth Spirit, and then he's not gonna have a game.
I think this game all comes down to like Zai. Zai is super. I mean, Bristleback and Zai are the exact same. They're either feast or famine. You either die like 3 times in lane and your game's just over, or you just take over and you're unkillable. I think it actually comes down a lot to how Zai lanes.
I like. It all depends on how. Yeah, this lane matchup versus Lycan. I think he should be fine though. So I think I would go with the LGD. I think they can pull this off. I don't think this Arc Warden is gonna do that much this game.
I agree. If I had to pick, I'd pick PSG LGD. I think they have better team fight, and they have better lanes even. I mean, Chaos, Tiny, that's the one good thing about him. He doesn't lose lanes, support or like middle. He just does not lose a lane.
Okay, both of you on the LGD.
I'm a Secret.
You're a Secret?
Yeah, I think the Leshrac is actually going to be a non-factor as well, just because of the lane should be terrible for him.
Right. Okay, those are the 3 predictions from our panel members. All 3 have predicted it's a split decision as far as the panel is concerned. As we head into the first game of the day, ladies and gentlemen, it is right around the corner. Your commentary team are ready.
It brings a tear to the eye every time I see that wonderful intro, and every time I get to cast in Malaysia. It has been so long since I've been in this beautiful country and get to cast in front of a live audience. Kyle, I'm glad you're with me, man.
Me too, man. It's my first time. I don't think we could have got a better game to start things off. We had different twists.
It's not our predictable. But it's like our Terrorblade and PL. We can sort of ignore you. Like one of you guys can be banned, but we get a different draft. We get a Leshrac, we get a Bristleback. We were bouncing through the draft, actually wondering like, okay, how's LGD going to play this once you first there as well?
There's a lot of different. I mean, it started off a bit stealthy, right? Like, oh no, not again, Arc Warden Ogre, but Lesh, Bristle, like these are 2 of my favorite and most played heroes. I think they both fit what both teams needed in this sort of lineup.
Yep.
A lot of the prep days, off days rather, were spent conceptualizing how do we beat an Arc Warden, and I would compare it to a Tinker in a lot of ways, in that you need to take down his towers, limit the map, so that the constant clone wave spam doesn't just force you into your base, and LGD is just somewhat all in on that concept, and it's gonna be really cool.
It's kind of funny because we were bouncing it around a lot. I know, like between the analysts, where it's like, okay, how do we kill it off? And we're mentioning things like Phantom Assassin, like okay, like you can just kill the clone instantly this way, but this is a whole different way. It's like, okay, you'll never reach that point. You'll never let the Arc Warden get the double Midas farm, which I think we were saying before, you can't contest it, right?
No, the issue with Arc is that he's going to shove your lanes. you can't pick carries like PA that even though you have good matchups, it's like Slark, right? BSJ was like, yeah, well, I mean, we could see it. Like, no, we won't be.
It's Slark. Come on.
It's not going to happen.
That guy's in the trash right now, but let's get into the game. Game 1 of this best of 3 winners bracket semi-final. The first major of the DPC season. A lot of points up for grabs if you get through. Guaranteed top 3 position, and it escalates the points as you move up every single slot. Not to mention the money.
Yeah, I think this mid matchup is going to be very key. I think Ame is going to be going up against Weaver mid, which is I'd say a split matchup. But the Lesh, to me, we haven't seen Leshrac in how long, but if there was a guy to play it, it's going to be maybe.
It really is. I'm actually wondering like if they even keep these lanes, if we start to see that lane rotation. The panel was talking about mid one maybe even taking this to the side lane and playing it more as a core and allowing Nisha to actually jump towards the middle, because like they're both very familiar with both sides of the role. Like Team Secret don't lock their safe or their mid lane. Good luck, Weppers. We see you on camera, our observer for today.
Well, they're actually both teams.
This morning.
Both teams are swapping. Well, they're going to put maybe mid, getting a read that, I don't know, they have to expect Weaver there, so we'll see.
They're not going to get many of the runes, though. While they're doing this swapping, coming from Uniform's Chalice, the rune's already picked up, and trouble for Chalice. He went for the tree toss, no stuns, no space being created. Zai moves forward, and they've found first blood. Team Secret open it up, and it's the local boy, mid one, who spills it.
What a fitting way to start off this bracket stage. It's so key on a Weaver as well. That's a very fast bottle to be able to pick up, and maybe does win the block mid, but so hard that, you know, there's no glyph anymore on that initial couple of waves. So this isn't as big of an advantage as it used to be, because you can't really double wave effectively. So it's just going to be a trade. Meantime, Phoenix going to rotate back towards bottom.
So we actually get a little bit more of our stable lane. So it will be Ogre and Arkward and bottom to work against the Phoenix, as well as Lycan, giving Lesh and Weaver into the mid, and that leaves Zai as the off laner. But FY's going to do his best to try and zone him out as the support, but that's why Yapso is there to rotate and make sure that they can get close enough to at least threaten the support and stop the free farm of Chalice on the safe lane. Because this was the other toss-up, right? Like, who's meant to be winning this top lane? Does Zai have a really good lane against the Tiny when you include the Pugna factor?
I'd say you end up trading here. You might see some kills. It'll probably be a bit chaotic, but you get so many stick charges to a Tiny Pugna that they can constantly spam spells. So it's very difficult for a Bristleback to ever really win this lane.
With the avalanche and the tree hit, combining with the blast. You knew it was going to hit hard. And Zai not respecting the space.
Yep. This is going to be a really cool game to watch. LGD is going to try and just suffocate Secret, take their towers early on, and use their high mobility and just really just damage output. They can take towers and Roshan very easily, whereas Secret, they're going to bank on that inevitable Arc Warden factor and a bunch of sustain items, most likely going to be purchased by Zai. But if his game is poor, already in a tough spot up top, no one's going to really be able to sit on towers and keep them alive.
Doesn't really feel too like Team Secret would then want to rotate the lanes. Like Arc Warden needs to be able to scale really well, and like, how is he meant to do that? By moving up top to try and help out a Bristleback for a gank? Does Weaver do the same type of thing?
Well, let's say Weaver is the one that's going to have to get active. Mid one specifically, just finding ways to get active here already. Level 2, he's got a haste rune on his way down bottom.
Yeah, they have an action rune. They'd love to try and find a kill onto Xnova. With that one creep die, he's going to hit level 2 and then have Icarus dive. So this gank, it shouldn't work, but they don't force the dive out from Xnova. Ame stands strong with his support.
Yeah, well done as well. If he's forced to dive there, all of a sudden he's able to be pressured by just the 2 heroes left in lane, but he's too experienced for that.
Mid one at least moves very quickly between the lanes, both Shikuchi and as well as the haste rune, so he doesn't lose that much time in mid, but if you look at the CS difference, it is 16-6 baby, and mid one's realized there is a very big sentry ward that almost killed him, but Zai's in trouble up on top. The blast will do the work. No matter how tanky you are, going underneath the tier 1 tower is problematic to say the least.
Yeah. And not only does he have a sentry, but he's got a ward on the high ground as well. So every lightning is going to be able to find a Weaver even while Invis on the high ground. So it's a really key advantage.
Mid one's got to get back into this mid lane if they're going to have any kind of chance. Double the CS, the difference. Tiny's been having the time of his life on top lane too. 28 last hits, 10 of them being denies. Zai is 5-2 on this Bristleback. He can't even attack when he gets decrepified and always going to be fearful of the pop damage. maybe a bit of a rebuttal on bottom lane, but Puppey, does he have the mana? He doesn't actually have it. With stick charges, he would have the mana for a Fire Blast, the Spark Raid, the Wolves stayed with him. So Nisha, unable to get this harassment he wants into the Lycan direct.
Yeah, bear in mind, the way Archord works, that Flux spell that's usually maxed out nowadays, it's not effective if you have a unit next to you as you run away, and Lycan will always have a friendly wolf by his side.
Oh, boy,
Ravens! It's Yatso coming in from the side. It's still a 1-1 trade-off. The Pugna will fall and Chalice gets back underneath the tower, but Yapsaw, he was almost there in the nick of time, but second too late.
Yeah, really nice rotate. Zai is going to have a lot of trouble, but the thing about Bristleback is you can always recover, you can take stacks. You get to a point where they try to kill you, but you get a turnaround while you stay alive. Maybe you run over to a shrine and all of a sudden your game is perfectly even, but right now he is certainly suffering. Only 1,000 net worth, 40 above Puppey, that's not where you want to be.
I don't think I've seen a single Spark Wraith actually hit a hero. Even that point, X-Nova standing on top of it. They move down to bottom lane. Nisha begins his TP. He knows there's no stuns available, and this will allow the TP out.
Nice.
It is the one real weakness of LGD's lineup. Chalice is the only one that really brings an instant stun.
Yeah.
Leshrac, a little bit more of a cast time for it, but he has one too. But that's it.
Yeah. Really well done by Nisha. Not only that, he goes to the tier 1, like just so calm. This is, I believe, his first time on stage at a major as well, so it'd be cool to see how he responds to the pressure.
FY on the run. Puppey's using his illusions to keep that distance nice and close. FY, well, he's in trouble, mainly because mid one's right behind him, continuing the run back past the tier 2 tower, but maybe now Team Secret are in too deep as maybe himself rotates over. The stuns are good onto FY, but he's just hanging around. You'll turn on the Pulse Nova, and Okamajai, for all his thickness, will still fall.
Yep, mid one on that first invis actually. He right-clicked to attack Puppey's illusion to try and deny it by accident, or maybe he can save his ogre by landing the kill a bit faster. But 1-for-1, no big deal.
They're going to try and gank up again on bottom lane. X-Nova doesn't have his Icarus dive away, but it's Ame who's the primary focus target. The Spark Rates are down. X-Nova's already beginning his TP away to safety. Puppey was looking to cancel it. Decides to instead just throw the stun into Ame, allowing mid one to get on a killing spree. That's now his 3rd kill on this Weaver, while Yapsaw tries to contest with a 6-minute rune over on top, but maybe in a better position. Yapsaw's going to look for a deny against Roshan, and he almost got it. The lightning from maybe ensured the kill.
Man, I love watching these two teams play against each other because even though there's going to be kills and deaths all over the map, both teams are playing the game well. That Lycan death that Ame had, he bought Gloves of Haste before going down. Interest, he loses no gold whatsoever. Yapsor goes for the Roche deny, which is going to be the right play the moment that roll is blocked, but maybe, of course, saving the spell, ensuring he gets that last touch.
Nisha's on the run once more. He'll get hit by that second Fire Spirit, begins his TP once again. Maybe this is one of these things too we have to start looking towards, is the fact that, well, one, Zai dies up on top lane with maybe's rotation, but two, the fact that LGD's stuns, how's it going to work as mid one is the one getting a lot of farm? You normally need to have like big lockdowns against a Weaver, and this just doesn't exist for LGD. How much of a clock does that put them on to push the towers?
Exactly. They have to bank on not just a push, but their team fight. Whereas Secret, you're going to have 3 heroes just playing lanes. Archord and Weaver are going to rely on their just mobility, the clone spam. Bristle's just going to be just big and burly. Dare you to bring 3 heroes up to kill him, but it's all about making space. How many times did we see Archord just carry a game that looked unwinnable?
Rolling Boulder down the bottom lane. They'll get the kick out on top of FY, but no instant follow-up, not while he's got the stick charges available. As Ame is going to come towards mid lane against mid one. That's not the lane he wants to be in at all. He needs to be that leech.
This is one of the downsides of running Lycan in the offlane like this. At a certain point, you don't feel comfortable staying there anymore, especially when the enemy supports our Ogre Earth Spirit. They have no real traditional offlaner. They could bring Chalice down there and look to battle. They've warded heavily for bottom has LGD, so this is not an area of the map that they want to abandon.
Do you think that's also a response to the fact that Team Secret are continuously keeping 2 supports on the bottom lane?
Yeah.
Like, it's still the top lane. Like, you got Tiny off to a brilliant start. Can he actually stand his ground as Zai is now able to get solo experience? Because Tiny can't zone out Zai by himself.
No, definitely not, but you're happy getting like 60% of this lane. You don't want to keep playing into a Bristle because it just, you might kill him, but you're going to lose so much health and mana in the process that it's almost as good as him getting counter kills.
FY right underneath that Radiant Observer. What Yapsol rolls through. He was actually looking for X-Nova as well. FY very quickly dead, and with a Spark Ray chasing down X-Nova. LGD do not want to hang around for this. That sentry ward they had planted is a little bit too far to the north. They do not see Secret's vision. That's what set it up.
Yep, they also saw Nisha on their own ward, and the moment that Secret responds with their mid player, you need to ensure that you don't heavily commit, because you can get punished very hard. But the bright spot is maybe still top net worth in game, very farmed, as is Chalice, but you can't really do anything just yet for LGD. You want that blink on Tiny, you need preferably the HOD, which is just now completed by Ame, but he still needs that level 6.
Yeah, but so like, where does that, like, that initiation you're talking about, but when can LGD also force down buildings?
Yeah.
When the Lycan get stronger, Poppy behind the line to get an Observer ward down. The fact is smoke broke, probably goes to X-Nova's neighborhood as the Icarus dive forward. Pugner managed to get another ward down, not enough stuns. Mid one will do the damage and sends Cooching through the Pugner, but support is always there. Support for support going down, as maybe just turned on the Pulse Nova, burns all the mana he's got, or half of it.
Yep, that image is going to be spawning in 20 seconds.
Mid one's being a real pain in the butt, trying to steal the Ancients from Ame and continuously harassing down this Lycan. Helm of the Dominator is nice, at least you got a clap. The mid one's going to keep the pressure on and force LGD to react to them and not the other way around.
Yeah, I like what he's doing here. He's just trying to ensure that he gets these bounties. He'll get the one. In the meantime, Secret, Zion, Puppy, they shrine up and then they take theirs. So they'll claim 3 as a side.
Yeah, that's really good for mid one too. Like, all the harassment damage he takes is 2 bottle charges and is 2 full bottles.
Yeah, I like the way he's playing. He's been abandoning mid to ensure that his Earth Spirit can get that level 6 ASAP. That's the big tool Secret has to contest the inevitable LGD pushes, and here comes a big one.
Careful
right
with
now.
mid one, he's right underneath that sentry ward. They see him, but it's the Invis rune of Latrak. Does he try and go for the stun over onto mid one? Can't really find it.
Oh, wow.
Mid one backs around the side. Invis has still got another good 10 seconds left on it, and he just stands still, waiting for the stun. Mid one, a big streak to take. And it all goes into the hands of maybe, but Secret, they're bringing in support. Bloodlust up the tower, try and force him back. Netherward's still in position. So spamming ability is not what Secret really want to do, but they may have no other choice.
And here's the power of Arcord. Not like a Tinker, yeah, you can bubble your towers twice, and there's Yapsor level 6. He's not revealed on the data. And in LGD, you got
shy of the level 6 mark. But the Magnetize with the rock down, it's enough. Yapsor.
The Weaver bugs, because he had a bottle charge going, found the Lycan, and all of a sudden, as you said, collect a free kill.
And then he looks for more. Double damage, chasing after maybe. Wants to keep his distance. Remember, this is nighttime, so maybe won't know exactly, but the DD's only got another 5 seconds left, so it's not long to fight.